Hi guys, my name is Candace Pulitano and I'm an East Coast Core team member. I'm here to show you how to do a very fast, very easy style called Glam waves. You may have seen a lot of tutorials regarding this style and a lot of different ways to go about it. Today what you'll need is a inch barrel iron. You can use a wand if you have it, but a barrel iron works just fine, your basic spring-loaded iron. We're going to be using this as a wand. You're going to need a light texturizing hairspray. I have my favorite, all-time favorite, which is Kevin Murphy Bedroom Hair. This is a very light texturizing spray that I can use to smooth and work with the hair as I'm heat styling as well as forming it to the design I'm looking for. You also need some clips and perhaps a shine spray as well as a boar bristle brush that we're going to use as our finishing tool. So I've started a little bit right now. And you can see my waves. I'm starting in the back section. I'm using my inch barrel as a wand, but I'm not doing it traditionally where I will take the inch barrel and wrap it this way. I'm actually wrapping it up towards the top of the head. So that's going to give me this nice drag at the root area. So that way it'll be a little sleek and then it will give me that S curve. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm going to take my iron and I'm going to wrap it up towards the top of the head. Drop the curl out, let it cool, and repeat. You may have seen other tutorials about using a cold set or even doing this as a roller set, and that's definitely something you can do. But when time is of the essence, being able to use your heat tool to get that style in and done is still going to provide you longevity. So I'm going to continue on my next section. I'm working with about inch or so sections. They don't have to be very clean and perfect because we want the hair to mold to itself once we're ready to start our finishing. So I'm going to just lightly clip that up at the top. She has not been prepped with anything except a little bit of my Kevin Murphy hairspray in all of my sections. So I just go over, I do a little once over. I'll take my 1.5 to 2 inch section and I'm going to wrap that up towards the top of the head. The most important part of this style is not necessarily the curl, but the finishing that we're going to do. It's important to not manipulate the hair that you've just curled. So you really want to let that cool. Don't rake your fingers through it. I'm just going to let the hair retain that curled shape that you're putting in. It's also really important not to drop the curl right down. Make sure you're giving it that time to cool so that way it stays in shape. So what we're trying to create is a very soft S shape to the hair. The tighter or the more of that S curl that you want to see, the smaller barrel your iron or your wand will be. An inch for somebody like her hair is definitely standard. You could use a larger barrel if you're just looking for a soft S through maybe the chin area, just a little bit of that kick out. Otherwise, if you want something tighter in a bob length style, you would go with a smaller diameter iron. So one of my specialties is bridal hair. So bridal season is coming up. I know many of us have seen this style quite a bit. There's a great way that you can accent this, whether it be a really pretty clip or barrette that you can use. A lot of brides like to place all of the hair on one side very sleek and have the other side with a soft teased portion that gives them some volume but also picks up that S shape. So I'm working my way towards the top. just going to go through and detangle her section, being careful not to manipulate anything underneath. Every section I work with, I am going to take a little bit of my texture spray, rake it through. So you can almost see, and I'll turn her a little bit more in a second, you can see that wave starting to form where everything's kind of sitting in the same place. So you'll get that nice big wave pattern that will be cohesive in the entire back section. So obviously the smaller the barrel, the longer it will take. The larger the barrel, the shorter. Some of the things I like to tell my brides in particular before we get started with their hair is obviously hair prep is really important. They can certainly shampoo their hair the day of if they prefer. Otherwise, I will normally suggest the evening prior to their event. So that way we have some opportunity to work with the hair. But as a stylist, we can certainly go in and use product to help provide that slip that we need and that texture to the hair. Really being able to work in any and all situation is important, especially when we talk about special event hair. So I'm almost done with the back section. This is my last section in the back that I'm going to drop down. I'm going to finish this section up and then we're going to move right on to the sides. Again, I'm not going to manipulate any of this. That's what I'm going to use for later. So I'll finish this up and I will show you what we do to the sides. All right, you guys, so I've just finished the back section here. So you can see that nice graduated wave and you can see that these will mesh really well together once we start manipulating the hair. So I'm going to work on this side and really I'm going to be doing the same thing, except I'm going to be wrapping more towards her face, which will still create this same pattern of curl. So I'm just going to loosely clip this out of the way. Again, I'm still going to prep with my bedroom hair. I'm going to take my section. Again, I'm placing the iron on top of the hair, not underneath, and I'm wrapping it towards the face. So I'm putting more of an angle to it versus straight up towards the head. Same concept, I'm gonna let it cool. Drop that section down and repeat. And you can also see with that bedroom hair, she's getting a little bit of shine too. So that helps when we're ready to start deconstructing this curl and start creating more of that S shape. Sometimes firm hold sprays can really limit your ability to work with the hair and can sometimes cake up and get very flaky, also a little too heavy. So using a texturizing spray like bedroom hair really helps to make it easier for you and to start giving you that shine that you need to make this look very polished. So again, I'm just taking same size sections, wrapping it towards the face. Making sure each section is prepped with bedroom hair before I start using my heat tool. And so you can also see the distance that I stay away from the hair when I'm spraying it. So often I will see stylists really load the product on and it makes it very uncomfortable for the client because they see smoke and fire and it's a little scary. But also for you as a stylist, it's sticking to the curling iron. It's hard to manipulate. There's flaking. It starts to static because we've coated it too much and now we're trying to brush through it. So really being able to work with the hair and manipulate it is going to be important. So product choice is very important. Going back to when we're talking about special event hair, if we have brides that are concerned about shampooing the day of, or, you know, will their hair be too greasy if they wait? Really remember that you're the professional. You can adjust for many different types of scenarios, including hair that's freshly washed. There's been kind of this stigma that freshly washed hair is a no-no. Can it make it harder for smoothing? Sure. But that's what's important about building up that hold. Starting with a styling cream if the hair is wet, go in and do your blow dry. Start with a finished texturizing spray, something light that you can work with to do your heat styling. Pomades are also really great in that circumstance, and really walking your client up the ladder as far as starting with a light hold and then using your finishing holds when you're ready to finish off the style. So you can really adjust for any circumstance that comes out. So again, I'm just wrapping the hair towards the face. And I'm staying a little bit away from the root area, but I don't necessarily have to because I'm getting that, like I said, that nice drag at the root. It's not very puffy. I'm not getting a lot of volume. If I wanted more volume, I could certainly go more under the hair, or I could go in and do some teasing. And that's something that I may consider. Remember that amount of volume that you see in the front in some of those images or Pinterest boards, that's really about the hair type. If there's a lot of layering in the hair or face framing, that can be a little easier to achieve because you're able to create that volume. If the hair is one length, not very layered, similar to this lovely lady, you're not going to get a voluptuous amount of volume unless you're going in and doing other things. That might be a circumstance where I would want to do a blowout prior and then go in and do my glam waves. And I may even change my direction. Maybe I'll go more on base with the curl and work with it that way. So you have to make some adjustments depending on what hair type and texture you're working with. So here is my one completed side and the back. I am going to take a couple minutes and do the next side the same exact way as we did this side. And then I'm going to show you how to do some finishing work. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you when she's all curled up. All right, you guys, so we finished all of the heat styling. So she's got her pretty waves. We are ready to start finishing this off. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start back off with my Kevin Murphy bedroom hair, and I'm just going to do a nice light spray throughout. I'm also going to do a nice light mist of my Redken Shine Flash. This will help keep it smooth and shiny as we start brushing this through. So again, depending on the volume, you would add a little tease to this. Otherwise, you would start your brushing. I did a small section in the back already, just so you guys have an idea of what it'll look like. So nice soft wave. We're gonna polish that up a little bit, and that's gonna be our goal for the rest of the hair. So to start brushing, I'm gonna work from the bottom up. To just form that hair. And so I'm not making this a very rough brush through. I'm trying to be very gentle. I'm trying to have that product work and form with the head. So you can see all those really soft waves now. Again, any static or anything that we encounter, I'll just add a little more product to it. So I have these really nice polished waves in the back. Again, if I wanted more volume, I can go ahead and start teasing that. I'm gonna wait and see once I start, we're throwing things on the ground. Once I start finishing the sides, I'll be able to have an idea of whether or not I want to add any tease to it. And so again, the more volume you want, the more of a tease that you would put into this hair. It's not necessarily a requirement. And you can start seeing that really severe S shape coming towards her face. So if I want to accentuate that, which I do, I'm going to do exactly what I did. Lift the hair up. I'm just going to place a little clip in there. I'm just going to use my texture spray to help give me a little lift there and to really seal in those parts. If I want to see a little more volume up at the scalp area, I would push this up and maybe do a clip here as well as here, just to again really accentuate that S shape. But if I want it to lay a little bit closer to her face, that's fine as well. It's also okay to go back over sections if you really want to polish it a little bit more. So now she doesn't have any layering or any face frame really. This is a brand new mannequin. So she's going to be a little bit more challenging to get that big puff of volume, which is what we talked about before. So really making sure that the hair type and texture is really going to work well for this style is important. Yes, you will get some sort of favorable end result, but it really just depends on what you're looking for, so I have her clips in here to help give her more of that S shape. If I wanted to do a little bit of teasing, I could use my boar bristle brush to give me a little bit more height. You just want to be careful that you don't completely destroy what you just did. So I'm just going to lightly go through her crown area and just put a little back combing in. And then I'll just go in and reform. Just to give these very soft waves. I have my clips in here to just, again, give me that really sharp S curve and to give a little bit more volume. Little shine spray to do the trick. And then I'm just going to spend a little bit more time refining her, and then I'm going to put a little decorative clip in so you guys have an idea of what this would look like as a bridal style. I'll be back. Alright guys, so we are completely done with her style. I just went through and did a little bit more polishing, little more spray, little finishing with my brush, and I just added a really simple barrette on her opposite side. So this is a great style, whether it be for date night or if you want to kick it up a bit and have it be more bridal friendly. You would do more of a rhinestone comb, maybe something higher, maybe a flower crown. You have a lot of options. So this differs from a beach wave because it's not very tousled and volumized. It's more of a sleek, polished look. All of the hair is flowing in one direction. It typically has that sleeker finish. No frizz, of course, because we're going in and we're utilizing our products to help us do that. And we have a nice S curve that's in here. So whether you want to do this for bridal or just a simple take on your basic finishing, this is just a great way to do your glam waves and have them be done in a quicker time frame, but also kind of kicks up more of your variety for style. So I thank you guys so much for spending the time and watching this video. I hope you learned something that you could take back to your salons. If there's any other videos that you would like to see, you can check eastcoastsalonservices.com and you can check our YouTube channel for more education. We try to put them out as often as we can. And if there's anything else that you have in mind that you want to see, please feel free to comment on this video. And again, I thank you so very much for tuning in, and hopefully you learned something you can take back to your salons. Bye.